Hey everybody, it's Mike Chambers. I've spoken to hundreds of business owners in their pursuit of happiness. Obviously everybody's either applied or in many cases they've got the funding, but there seems to be 5 questions that are jumping out at everybody. And I thought I would answer those for you. Is this free money? How does this keep my business afloat, and is it worth it? How can I be sure the government is going to forgive this loan? What is the timing on this that I should be considering? Will this really default into a 1% term loan? So the first question everyone's asking me is this free money? No, it's called the PPP loan for a reason. This is a contract. Now, God bless the USA, it's the best country in the world, and it came out with a program that if you use it correctly, you can give it forgiven. Doesn't mean that it's free, you still have obligations. So I'd like you to remember, God bless the USE. Remember from my last videos what use means. This is about keeping United States employed, and you're entering in a contract with the United States government to use it correctly and be considered for loan forgiveness. The second question is, how does this keep my business afloat? Is this worth it? Well, I want you to remember, number 1, we're the best country in the world. Number 2, this is just one component of a $2 trillion stimulus package. Their attempt to be one size fits all, but it's not going to be a solution for all things. There's many variables and complications to each business custom to you. But one thing most businesses have in common is the largest expense on their budget is typically payroll. This is an opportunity for you to enter in a deal with the government where they are going to assist you to pay for the number 1 line item on your budget. And in return, you're going to help the United States government with the number 1 financial problem it's facing right now, which is wide sweeping unemployment. Which brings me to my next point. United we stand. Let's stick together. Let's look at America as one big company, and we're all a division of it. This is not going to fit for everybody. If you're somebody that's deemed essential but you have interruption of revenue, this is perfect for you. Your people are already working, and this makes sure that your payroll's recovered for you. If you're hindered by this, this will at least help. It's not going to solve all your problems. It's not intended to. Other things will happen, but most importantly, if you don't need it, don't take it. It's probably not a great idea to enter into a loan because exiting it on the backside might not be worth the time or trouble, but most importantly, we want to clear the way for those that do need it. So let's all stand together on this and make sure that we're only taking it if we need it, and we're going to do the right things for it. Its sole purpose is to put paychecks back into households, which is something that's important to every business owner, I'm sure. So the number 3 question that I talked about is, how can I be sure that my loan is going to be forgiven? Because business owners don't want to take out debt when they have disruption to their business and disruption to revenue. It wouldn't make sense, correct? So that's a critical component. The number 1 thing I can tell everybody is the number 1 way, payroll. My advice to you is hopefully you're getting this loan from the bank that you already bank at. If you are, have it dump right into your payroll account. Yes, there's limited uses you can do outside of payroll, but why not just simplify the process? Put it right into your payroll account and use it throughout the next 6 to 8 weeks. The number 1 word in the program should tell you everything. This is Paycheck Protection Program. A lot of folks are asking me about timing, like when's the good time to turn this on? I put on good time to pay. Why? It's full of a couple things. First and foremost, the next day after funding is when your 8 weeks start. We are going to compare your February 15th payroll to what the next 8 weeks looks like after you fund. Some of you are saying, hey, I'm ready to do this, but I don't have work for my employees. I want to be clear with everybody, nothing in the guidance says that we're going to measure the productivity of your employees. As business owners, it's great for us to have that habit where we want our employees to be productive, but the government doesn't necessarily mind if you just ask them to stay at home and stay safe while we beat this pandemic. The number 1 thing we're trying to protect here is our GDP. This is an opportunity for us to fuel that for the next 6 to 8 weeks while curing the number 1 line item from your budget. You can work with your bankers on the timing of applying, but they are currently operating with a 10-day rule from the time of approval. If it makes sense to wait, feel free to do so that you're not clogging up the system for somebody else who may need that right now. So the last question everybody asks me is, can't this just become a 1% term loan? Well, I would encourage you not to think of it that way. As we're all homeschooling throughout America, check in on some of our math classes, and here's an equation I want you to consider. If you have a $100,000 loan and the government is going to pay 1% interest to the bank and potentially forgive the entire thing, well, not that it was free, it was just forgiven because you used it correctly. So in which case, that's kind of a 0% loan, right? You actually didn't pay for anything. The 1% only really applies if it's the government. If you don't use this correctly, you miss the best part about the PPP loan, and now you're on the hook for the full amount. I call that 100% interest. So your choices really are, do you want it 0% or do you want 100%? And that should be your focus. I would only take this loan out if you're gonna use it the correct way and have it forgiven. Look folks, what we're really focusing on here is all coming together as one, understanding this is an important process to beating the pandemic while keeping the American economy alive and welling, or giving it at least the best chance that it can. Please like us and follow us on both LinkedIn and YouTube. Whether you're one of our existing customers, whether you're someone we're meeting for the first time and trying feverishly to help, or even if you're a customer of another bank, or even if you're another banker just looking for information to share with your clients, we're here to be a source of knowledge, and we're here to be your banking partner.